Fox Sports. They are perhaps in the middle of reconstructing their NFL studio show. Jimmy Johnson apparently is done. There's rumors about, hey, should we push Terry Bradshaw out? Has he reached his expiration date? Erin Andrews, as a sideline reporter who does interviews, long-form interviews on that show, her contract is up. I would tend to think they would renew her, but who knows? Anyway, do you think, and then you have the Tom Brady situation. Is he a perfect fit for the booth calling games, or would he be better in the studio in the Terry Bradshaw role? And I actually think he would be. That would give you the opportunity to make Greg Olsen your number one in calling games again. That might make more sense. But what do you think Fox Sports should do here with their once legendary NFL studio show?
Jason, during the Super Bowl, I saw this on Twitter, the 4-minute tribute to the football life of Jimmy Johnson. And of course, it was great. And I kept thinking, but wait, why are they doing this now? I didn't really put two and two together if this is truly the end of the great James William Johnson, 4-star general of the gridiron, Mr. 3 Rings. And I get it. All good things come to an end. They've been basically together outside of Jimmy coaching the Dolphins for about 4 seasons since, 1994, when Fox got the original NFC package. So, look, everything's going to have to come to an end. My view has been this. As much as I watch that show, which isn't all that often, it's sporadic. I've always thought there were too many people, Jason. In my view, when you go to a desk show, that desk does not need to look like the Last Supper. It really doesn't. I think you need about 3 to 4 guys. I don't need everybody. Peter, Paul, Mary, Jesus, and, all those St. Paul. And I just felt like it was just too much of a good thing. So sometimes you can do addition by subtraction, and I get it. Jimmy's getting older. He may not want to travel anymore. I think that is a factor. Keep this in mind. The chemistry, though, you're not guaranteed to keep it, even if there is some continuity. Now, as it relates to Tom Brady, with what they are paying him, Whitlock, they better find a role for him. And I'm not saying he's the worst I've ever heard, but he was not Greg Olsen, and I don't think he's Tony Romo, and he may not be the natural. Could he be a better fit in studio where he can kind of gather his thoughts? I'm not sure about that either. But once Jimmy Johnson and Terry Bradshaw leave, for better or worse, that show will never be the same again.
I do like the idea of Tom Brady in the studio, and it's like the rapport Terry Bradshaw and Jimmy Johnson had. The rapport between Terry and Jimmy and Terry and Howie Long could perhaps be duplicated with Tom Brady and Gronk. Now, having said that, Gronk is not Howie Long. Gronk is not Jimmy Johnson. I do think Tom Brady could be Terry Bradshaw, an outspoken guy. I do think he could be that guy. But Gronk is I'm not sure what Gronk really brings to the table.
Well, Gronk's kind of the class clown. He's silly. He's funny. For my money, the greatest tight end I've ever seen. But, Jason, let's go back to a show that at one time was iconic and was a key part of the National Football League viewing experience. Inside the NFL when it was on HBO, when it was truly Camelot. They've had a lot of different versions of it. They've had different cast members. But in my view, Jason, when it was Len Dawson, Jerry Glanville, Nick Bonacani, and a young Chris Carter, I thought that was the best they ever had. Okay, and then they've added other people, and it's gone to different networks. But it was hard to replicate the chemistry that quartet had. And once you disrupt it, I don't know if you could ever recapture it that way. So, wow, it didn't dawn on me. That tribute was actually a gold watch to Jimmy Johnson on Sunday. What a sad day.
Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, so why not start stacking some today? The Fold app gives you Bitcoin rewards when you buy gift cards. At Amazon, Uber, DoorDash, and Home Depot. Over 50 national merchants. Go to foldapp.com/Whitlock right now. or scan the QR code on your screen. New users get a Bitcoin bonus with their first gift card purchase. Start earning Bitcoin rewards today. Fold app. The rumors about Travis Kelce and that he may retire. He's pondering retirement. I tend to think he's going to come back for one more year. But let's say Travis Kelce did retire. Who would that hurt the most? The Kansas City Chiefs, because they would miss their Hall of Fame tight end, or the NFL, because they would no longer be able to ride the Taylor Swift narrative until she found a new boyfriend in the NFL, or I don't know, maybe. But who's getting hurt the most if Travis Kelce retires? Chiefs or
The latter.
NFL?
The latter. And I'm going to make a prediction, but I wish them well. As if he retires and then he does that old speech. You've covered these press conferences, Whitlock. I just want to spend more time with my family and loved ones. You know what that means? They're going to be bored in 3 months. They're going to be wanting out of that. What's going to happen, in my view, is that Kelce's going to think, oh, my God, now I get to spend more time with her. And as soon as he does, he's going to want the hell out. I guarantee you that. By the way, I saw some footage of Kelce's attempted blocking in the Super Bowl. That was embarrassing. I felt for a while he's been a player on the athletic descent, but that effort blocking was embarrassing. And it just confirmed my feelings that Rob Gronkowski is a better overall player. Now, with that being said, let's go back to my original point. A lot of players think they want to retire until they actually retire. Jason, this couple days ago, I spoke to a really good boxing trainer named Abel Sanchez, famous for Terry Norris, Gennady Golovkin, several other champions. He was so sick of boxing, and he said, 2 years, Steve, I'm out. I'm done. He actually sold the gym called The Summit in Big Bear that he built by hand because he's really a construction guy. Then I find out a couple days ago, he's actually back to training, and I called him. And I said, Abel, are you back? And he goes, yeah. And I go, what happened? And he's an avid golfer. And he just goes, well, Steve, it dawned on me. I'm not going to make the PGA Tour, and I'm bored. So he's actually rebuilding a whole new gym from scratch. He's showing me pictures. And he said, Steve, I'm back training boxers. And guess what? I'm having fun. I didn't realize I'd actually miss it this much. So, again, the theory of retiring is actually sometimes much easier than the actual reality of it.
Steve, you're arguing that Travis Kelce is going to retire and get to spend more time with the number one pop star in all the world,
right?
Travel the globe, go to events with her, and he's going to get bored by that.